This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 245 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. This tip is sponsored by FeedXL. Visit them at feedxl.com. Enjoy today's tip. I'm Glenn the Geek from Lexington, Kentucky, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily. Well, we're very excited to have back with us somebody that's become a friend of ours through the Horse Radio Network here, and just a lovely person and fun to chat with and fun to hang out with, and that's Darley Newman. Darley is our resident travel expert, and she's a published author and an Emmy winner, and she won her Emmy for a series called Equitrekking that she does on PBS stations all across the world now, actually. Darley is the host and producer of Equitrekking, and that's the first travel television series to explore the globe on horseback. It's a fun show, and you should check it out. Look at your local listings for your PBS station there locally where you live, and you'll find Equitrekking on there. Record it on your DVR and take a watch. It's a lot of fun, and we enjoy having her on the show. We'll be back with another one of Darley's travel tips right after we speak about my friends down there at FeedXL. FeedXL, if your horse is having a little bit of an issue with weight, or you're not sure you're feeding him correctly, none of us know exactly what we're supposed to feed our horses, and you hear different varying opinions from all of your different friends. Well, FeedXL does all the smart stuff that it takes to formulate and balance a horse's diet. It takes all the science and math that a doctor of equine nutrition learns and makes it all super easy and fun for you to use. All you do is go to their website at FeedXL, you plug in a few simple details, and you see if your horse's nutritional requirements are being met. They use the details about your horse and what you feed him, and they do some serious math to calculate if your horse's nutritional requirements are correct. They take a look at everything. That's the incredible part that I saw about FeedXL, is how extensive it was, from all the different vitamins and supplements and everything that you need to know about feeding your horse, down to the hay, how much hay you're supposed to give. It's very extensive, and we took a look at it here with a number of people that I know. They're very smart, much smarter than me, about this kind of stuff, and they were very impressed with it. And actually, equine nutritionists use it to formulate balanced diets for their clients. You can learn more about equine nutrition and how to feed your horse for the ultimate performance by visiting FeedXL at feedxl.com. Well, let's say hi to Darley and talk a little bit about travel. Well, hi, Darley, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily. It's always good to have you on.
Thanks, Glenn. Good to talk to you.
It's been a while, and of course you have done tips for us in the past, but we're at tip number, I think we're in the hundreds now, so people can go back and find your past tips just by going to Horse Tip Daily on the left-hand side of the page and looking up Darley Newman, and they can go back and listen to all your tips at once. But today we're talking about travel. So what do you have for us today? How can we help people travel better?
Well, I think you can travel better whether you're going to your local stable or traveling on vacation and riding by pairing up with the right horse, getting matched up with the right horse. And a lot of that depends on, obviously, the host, because they know their horses, but you're also involved in it because it's a bit of communication so that you get matched with a good mount.
And do you really have control? Let's say you're going to a ranch or other places like that. Do you have control over which horse you get?
Yeah, in some ways you do. I mean, the first thing that you need to do whenever you're going somewhere, even before you get there, is to tell them, your skill level and be truthful about it. That's the most important thing. A lot of people overestimate how good they are, and that can lead you to trouble. Yeah. I think everybody knows this. Everybody knows this, and yet people still do it. And it's so important. You really don't want to be overmatched by a horse. And also, if you're a better rider, you don't want to, just be maybe plodding along that day. So
yeah, this is probably one place where you put your pride aside and you be honest.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a fan of, underestimating a little bit. I mean, if you doubt it at all, just underestimate, because then you'll be fine. You just don't want to be overmatched. That's really important. But also doing things like giving your weight and height and all that kind of stuff, just so you can get matched to a horse that's gonna be good for you.
Okay, and what have you found in the years that you've been traveling? Have you found that there have been times when you've just been on a nightmare, or
Well, and yeah, I mean, these are other tips that I can give people because I've had experience where, not that I've necessarily been on a nightmare, because horses are all different. They all have different personalities, and some are just not right for a trail ride.
Right.
So when you're on a horse like that, I think when you first get on, obviously you want to check your tact and make sure that your girth or your cinch or whatever is tight enough. And I always like to do what I call a test drive when I first get on. And I ask the owner of the horse, how should this horse be ridden? Does my horse have any special quirks that I need to be aware of?
Yeah, like that bolting thing.
No, seriously, there are many, many things, as we all know because we ride, that horses can do and that they have habits and different traits. And you just want to, hopefully they're going to tell you. And sometimes they don't, and you just have to figure it out as you go on the ride. But if you know ahead of time to look out for something, if you know your horse likes to roll in a certain spot on the trail, that's something that you can
it's
look
probably
out
good
for.
to know.
But then the owner can also direct you as to how the horse likes to be ridden, whether it likes loose rein or a little more contact, and you can do a little test drive. And I like to do some circles and just kind of get used to the horse before we go out, so that we're not out in the middle of nowhere and I'm saying, oh, I'm not sure about this horse.
Right. Huh. I venture to say that probably, there are a small number of people, and perhaps through your studies in the horse world, that have actually gone on horse vacations.
Well, what's interesting about horse vacations? You don't have to be a horse owner or have a ton of experience to do it. So,
right.
It's open to a wider audience. And a lot of people maybe wouldn't even call it a whole vacation, but they'll incorporate riding into their trip. Like they'll be on Hawaii's Big Island and they'll do a day ride. And then a lot of people take longer vacations as well. But I think more and more people are traveling to do things like training. Like say you want to go to Ireland and really learn in a different way, or learn from someone who's won the Dublin Horse Show or something. Those are all options that are available. And as our world is such a global economy now, that people are really traveling and getting out there and seeing what other cultures do, which is neat.
And they can actually do some traveling with you, right? With your company?
Yeah, well, we have our PBS show, and then we have Equitrekking Travel, where people can actually, look on our website and find some good equestrian vacations. And they're all places that we've personally been, and we had a good time and love the local hosts and the horses. So, yeah, they're good picks. And
where can they find information about that?
You can go onto our websites. We have equitrekking.com and equitrekkingtravel.com.
All right, great. Well, so the tip today is get to know your horse even before you leave for vacation.
And relax. That's the key.
You know me too well. Thanks, Darley. Well, thank you to Darley for taking time out of her busy filming schedule to join us here at the Horse Tip Daily Show. We appreciate it. And we would certainly love to hear from you as well. We would love to start doing a series, and we are doing that this week, start doing a series of listener tips. If you're a listener to the show and you think you might have something to add, just please drop me an email at Glenn with 2 N's at horseradionetwork.com, and we'll get you on the air. We'll let you provide some tips for the audience as well. And we have a couple of listeners that are going to be doing that, so we really appreciate that. We'd love to hear from more of you. Don't forget to check out all the other great shows on the network at horseradionetwork.com, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Till then, stay safe, everyone.